Hello, I'm Michelle Fox with DentistryIQ.com. This week we'll talk about the upcoming RDH Under One Roof conference that's happening later this month, a new book that details oral systemic length for consumers. A CEO of a dental online services company explains why social media is so important for dental practices to monitor. With social media in mind, we'll conclude with some startling statistics that will surprise you, as well as some comments that you may want to hear that are circulating around the internet. But first, RDH Under One Roof, or UR, as many dental hygienists refer to, is happening this month. The annual conference gets underway July 28th through the 30th at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Chicago. More than 1,000 dental hygienists from across the United States and beyond will attend the 3-day conference for continuing education, for exhibits, and networking opportunities. The keynote speaker for this year is Janice Hurley-Traylor. The title of her course is The Power of Choice, Your Professional Image. We asked Janice why self-image is so important for dental professionals, and here's what she had to say.
The fact is that we see our regular patients and we interact with the other team members, but we also sometimes see new patients, hopefully, in the practice. And the fact is that within a tenth of a second, somebody has made a conclusion about you. They've decided how competent you are and how approachable, and that's all within less than a blink of an eye. So there's the visual impact that sometimes the longer we've been in the same business, we maybe don't make it as important. So overall, 3 aspects contribute to what someone thinks of you. It's the visual, the verbal, and then most important, your body language.
We also asked Janice what conference participants could expect to take home from her seminar.
Very important is personal confidence. The fact that when we actually are relaxed and feel really good about ourselves, so we're not worried about our uniform, worried about our hair, our makeup, or jewelry, or any other aspect, that when we're truly confident, which is very different than being egotistical, when we're truly confident, we get to focus on the other person, not ourselves anymore. And so sometimes what's missing in order for somebody to be able to do that is either time or information. And I love being able to help people with that.
It is, of course, not too late to register for the conference. If you have not done so already, go to rdhunderoneroof.com for more information. Dr. Dan Sindelar is a St. Louis dentist who has written a new book titled Refresh Life. Dr. Sindelar is a member of the American Academy for Oral Systemic Health. His book, as he explains here, is written with both consumers and dental professionals in mind.
I pretty well wrote it with the consumer in mind, but the thing that really has shown up is it's very helpful for teams and team members. This is a subject, nobody is behind on this, but it's just trying to put everything together.
He also talks about the relationship between periodontal disease and overall health.
Think of it this way. We have, 85%, according to the Surgeon General, 85% of our population has some form of gum disease. Gum disease, and I'm talking, of course, to dental professionals. I'm used to talking to the general public, so excuse me for that. But gum disease or periodontal disease is an inflammatory disease. On the other side of it, so are heart attack, stroke, and diabetes, amongst many others. So we have documented effects on increased risk for heart attacks, increased risk for strokes, and increased risk for diabetes, increased risk for Alzheimer's. There was a study, I believe it came out 2 weeks ago. If you're under 35 with periodontal disease, you are 4 times as likely to have dementia as you get older. That's a huge thing. So this is the idea of oral inflammation affecting overall inflammation is a problem in our country. And as dental professionals, we all have a great chance to help with that. So it's a very exciting time for us, and also a time we can do a lot of help. So.
Finally, the American Academy for Oral Systemic Health hosted its first annual meeting on June 24th and 25th. We asked Dr. Sindelar how the conference went.
in our wildest dreams, we couldn't have dreamt how big a success it was. We sold it out. We had to have an overflow room that sold out. We had preventive cardiologists give presentations. We had both sides. We now have aligned ourselves with the AAPP, which is American Academy for Private Physicians. And going forward, after our first meeting, which is what we just had, we're going to have 3 or 4 regional meetings joined with them, and then we're going to add them on next year. So everybody join, everybody bring your physicians with you. This is really groundbreaking stuff. Great, passionate group of people. An example, one of the preventive cardiologists, this is so funny. I tell this story, but Tushar Shah, 4 years ago, he was on the front of the Journal of Cardiology as the top cardiologist in the country. He told me quietly, he said, "How many years does it take for me to get through hygiene school?" Which just is such a fun thing to hear because, you know, as healthcare professionals, but as dental professionals, we always think we're where we're supposed to be in our little box, and then to hear them in awe and open about what we're doing.
Refresh Life is available on Amazon.com if you're interested in obtaining copies for your patients. Deanna Friedman is the CEO of Sesame Communications, an online services company for the dental industry. DentistryIQ.com recently interviewed her about internet trends among dental patients. Here's what she had to say about the number of patients who come into her office via the internet.
A normal practice with any kind of presence on the internet will get, on average, 9 new patients into the practice. So whether it is an SEO on the website, whether it is just social media, whether it is, pay-per-click advertising, that's what they will get.
Make no mistake about it, Deanna believes your web presence will greatly influence the success of your dental practice.
The more social media a practice does, their return on that investment grows exponentially. So for example, we found out if you do 3 things rather than 1, your new patient calls will go up to 17 per month on average. So there is a lot of synergy because people that are looking for information online, and we all are looking at information online, if we Google something and we see a blog for the practice, and then a Facebook, and then a website, and then some reviews online, suddenly we're beginning to see 360. What is this practice is about? What other patients are saying about this practice? Our sense of comfort in making that appointment is significantly higher than if we land on a single page, small website that doesn't have a lot of content. Then we still don't know that we can be committed to that appointment. So the more information you surround your community online with, the more your ability to impact that call to action and have patients decide, okay, this is the practice I want to call.
Finally, how are you using the internet? DentistryIQ.com recently surveyed 5,000 dentists about their participation on social networking sites. As you can see, most dentists spend about 2 hours or less on each week on social media. When they do get online, where are they going? The majority of dentists who have online accounts are either on Facebook, and a few have LinkedIn accounts or participate in dental forums. Very few dentists are on MySpace or Twitter. I want to close by talking about one last one, which is Twitter. Vicki Cheeseman, an associate editor for DentistryIQ.com, recently wrote an article about the tweets she sees about dentistry on Twitter. Her article was titled, "Top 20 Things I Saw on Twitter, What People Say About Dentists." Among the usual, I don't like dentist comments, there were some amusing ones that were on there, such as, "Bummed out, my dentist's office got rid of their huge, cool fish tank." Another one, "Went to the dentist, listened to music, and saw a ton of blood coming out of my mouth." I'm sure that's in a complete exaggeration. Twitter, of course, is generating 200 million tweets a day. As Deanna Friedman said earlier, we need to pay closer attention to our patients about what they're saying about us online. Vicky's article, as well as the interviews with Dr. Sindelar and Deanna Friedman, can be viewed on dentistryIQ.com. We bid you farewell from our studios here in Tulsa. I'm Michelle Fox, and thank you so much for watching this week's newscast from dentistryIQ.com.